World War II not only decimated our planet's population and shattered countless existences, it also took a toll on the environment, in the Baltic Sea region as elsewhere. The Baltic Sea was a major theater for warring navies, leading to an accumulation of unexploded ordnance in the sea. Once the war was over, enormous quantities of surplus warfare material had to be disposed of as quickly and economically as possible. What easier way could there be than simply dumping it in the Baltic? After the war, thousands of tons of chemical munitions were discarded in designated dumping areas in the Baltic Sea, and many of the mines that were deployed in the Baltic Sea still remain. It is estimated that 35,000 mines may remain in the Gulf of Finland alone. As a result, a large amount of dumped warfare material, UXOs, and all sorts of other relics of World War II still rest on the Baltic seabed. We know the location of only some of the submerged mines, chemical munitions, or wrecks. Considerable uncertainty remains as to how much more could still be rusting away in the depths of our sea, and what stage of corrosion it might be in. This is a matter of considerable concern because munitions pose an immediate threat to those of us working in the marine environment. The Baltic Sea is currently one of the busiest shipping areas in the world and hosts lots of sea-based infrastructure such as offshore wind farms, pipelines, and communication cables. Fishermen are especially at risk as munitions can get ensnared in their nets. What's more, there is a real and worrisome possibility of encountering warfare materials on beaches and the seashore. In addition to the possibility of immediate harm due to an explosion, hazardous substances from submerged ordnance are seeping into the marine environment, contaminating not only the close vicinity, but also larger parts of the marine food web. Due to the dynamic nature of the marine environment, the consequences can reach far beyond the source, all the way to our plates in the seafood we eat. For example, traces of chemical warfare agents were recently found in lobsters near the Swedish west coast, and reports of beach visitors having been in contact with white phosphorus on German, Latvian, and Polish beaches are frequent. Aware of the issues surrounding dumped munitions since the late 1980s, HELCOM established its first working group on dumped chemical munitions in 1993, tasked with preparing a report on the dumping locations and effects of chemical weapons in the marine environment. Submerged hazardous objects continue to rank high on the HELCOM agenda today. In fact, underwater ordnance is also a priority area of the current German chairmanship of HELCOM. HELCOM is currently preparing a thematic assessment on hazardous submerged objects, with some of the first results expected to be published soon. The assessment addresses both munitions and wrecks. Our updated Baltic Sea Action Plan, HELCOM's strategic program of actions and measures, which will be adopted at the HELCOM ministerial meeting in October of this year, will also contain 2 specific actions on submerged hazardous objects, munitions, and wrecks. Addressing the complex issue of dumped munitions requires international cooperation and concerted efforts involving a wide array of stakeholders, especially in the Baltic Sea, where munitions, wrecks, and other hazardous submerged objects are widely dispersed throughout all national waters. The Kiel Munition Clearance Week that seeks to foster a shared perspective on the challenge, that will bring together the latest scientific research, industry best practice, Navy expertise, technical innovation, as well as economic and political considerations, is certainly an excellent forum for mobilizing the necessary expertise needed for solving the submerged munitions issue. On behalf of the entire HELCOM community, I would like to wish you a fruitful event, and I'm looking forward to the very valuable outcomes of the Kiel Munitions Clearance Week. Thank you very much.